refer to words of the creative imagination, including works of poetry, drama, fiction, and nonfiction. Literature is the art of written works. It is the body of written works of a language, period, or culture. Literature is published and written works in a particular style or particular subject. Literature is the mirror of life. Our life and all the subject are related to our life is the subject matter or element of literature. So we can get the touch of our life through literature. Examples: fiction, sci-fi, nonfiction, folktale, romance, and historical fiction. Basically, there's a source of literature for everyone. But a contemporary problem that we are suddenly facing is that more and more literature is copied. That's right, unoriginal. But what is this called? Plagiarism. Many people think that plagiarism as copying another works or borrowing someone else's ideas. But terms like copying and borrowing can disguise the often seriousness of this offense. According to the Merriam-Webster's online dictionary, to plagiarize means to steal and pass off the ideas or words of another as one's own, to use one another's production without crediting the source. 3, to commit literary theft or to present as a new idea or the original product derived from the existing form. Types of plagiarism. Plagiarism is not always a black and white issue. The boundary line between plagiarism and resource is often unclear. Learning to recognize the different types of plagiarism, especially the ambiguous ones, is an important step towards effective production. Types of plagiarism are as follows, from the most offensive to the least. Clone is to submitting one's work word for word without one's citation. Control contains significant portions of a text from a single source without alterations. 3, to find and replace, changing key words and phrases but retaining the essential content of the source. 4, remix, often used for songs, but it also can be used in literature. Paraphrases from multiple sources made to fit together. 5, recycling. And we're not talking about bottles and cans. We're talking about borrowing generously from the writer's previous works without citation. Number 6, hybrid. To combine perfectly cited sources with copied passages without citation. 7, mashup. Mixes copied material from multiple sources. Number 8, 404 error. Includes citation to non-existent or inaccurate information about sources. Number 9, aggregator. Includes proper citation to sources, but the paper contains almost no original work. Number 10, a retweet. Not exactly social networking, but it includes proper citation or relies too closely on the text's original work or angular structure. But preventing plagiarism is easy to do. In a research paper, you have to come up with your own original ideas while at the same time making reference to work that's already been done by others. But how exactly can you tell where ideas end up and your own begin? How is a proper way to integrate sources into your paper? If you change some of what the author said, do you still have to cite the author? Confusions about answers to these questions often leads to plagiarism. If you have similar questions or concern about preventing plagiarism, we recommend using this checklist below. 1, plan your paper. Consult with your instructor to plan this. Have any questions or ideas about plagiarism? If you can't find the answers on a site, make sure you ask your teacher. A teacher can basically help you with anything that you need to when writing a paper. Make sure that you can consult with them prior to writing, not after you've already turned in an assignment. In order to provide effective literature to an audience, you must have effective note-taking before beginning it. Also, cite your sources. That way you're not accused of plagiarism. Also, proofread before turning in an assignment. That way, plagiarism is less common. When in doubt, cite your sources. Of course, you want to get credit for your own ideas, and you don't want your instructor to think that you got all of those information from somewhere else. But if it is unclear whether an idea of your paper really came from you, or whether you got it from somewhere else and just changed it a little, you should always cite your source. Because, believe it or not, plagiarism is extremely illegal. Fact in fact, you can basically write literature about anything. To avoid plagiarism and become an effective audience speaker or able to write literature, the best way is to take these steps. Literature, it just happens.